So we're back with the Christmas in July cards, and we're going to whip through the rest of them really quickly because I've gone ahead and stamped and stuck some of the pieces that are a lot more obvious. So I'm going to show you how to do this one because obviously that is not that. So what you're going to do is you're going to cut out a piece that's approximately that wide. So we're just going to go ahead and there we go. So it doesn't have to be precise, obviously, because mine definitely wasn't just then. Okay. The way that I've done this is I've used some dimensionals. I'm just going to stick a couple of dimensionals onto the back of there. 2. And then you can make sure that it's going to actually not go past the end of the page, if that makes sense. So then this piece should be able to stick on top of there. I ought to do that. Maybe might need to trim this one down a tad more actually. That looks a bit better. Okay, so when you're sticking the dimensionals onto this one, you need to stick them up the top here because otherwise you'll find that that you're going to end up with sort of dimensionals on the gap, which isn't going to work, if that makes sense. So we should be able to, so just line up your edges like that, so you end up with, just see how it's sort of lined up, because then this piece will fit over top of it and it'll look quite neat and tidy. I'm going to get rid of that. So then we should be able to use a bit of stamping seal. And that. Here we go. And then, as I say, I've kind of tried to pre-stamp everything. Make sure that you stamp this one before you start sticking anything onto your card, because it's a bit of a job afterwards. And that can sit onto there. So then you have that one. Okay, and we can get rid of these pieces. Now you can use that if you want to, or you can do what I've done and chuck it in the bin. Alright, next. Ding! So, this is our next card. Okay, so I have gone ahead, pre-stuck this down because I showed you how to do that in the last video anyway, so I figured that's not really brain science. You will have a piece like this, so just pop a little bit of glue onto it and aim for it in the sort of top middle part of your card. So just stick it down like that. Then you're going to stick your star. There you go. 1, 2, 3. Get rid of that and that and that. So stick your star down, nice and easy. And then I've managed to stamp mine slightly crooked, so I figured that rather than doing it exact as I did with this one, I'm going to just make it like that. So just going to add a bit of my stamping seal onto the back of this. Let's just work it out on the card itself. There we go. And then a couple more dimensionals onto the back. Whoops. 2, not 3. There we go. 1, 2, and there we go. So if you can't stamp straight, then just stamp it on an angle and just go for it. No one's going to know the difference anyway. It's only between you and you, really. So next card is this one here. So this one here, there's no snipping of this. However, the reason I didn't stick it onto the card is because you are going to be adding stuff to the back of it. So you're going to add these pieces onto the back. However, equally, you want to make sure that it's going to stay on your card. So it does just fit onto the card like that. So then you want it so that that's going to be out there. So grab that. Oh, God. Add a bit of this to it, and hopefully, yep, that's good. And a bit more on the back there. And let's just add that. I'll probably just hold it in place and sort of hope that it ends up in the right place. Oops. Yep, that looks about right. Okay, then I can just now add a little bit more of that. Pop that down. Okay, so this next piece, so you might need to trim this down because I know I did cut it a little bit longer. That's not too bad, although I might just grab my scissors and trim it down just a fraction. I think I'm happier with it being a little bit shorter. Okay, so then just pop a little bit of glue into the middle, and you can just sort of shove that on, as it were. This one here just needs to be cut in half, and then you can pop that, and then just add it. Oops. So that one sticks on that side, and so you just, ideally you look at it from the front to do this so that you know exactly how much you're going to be adding onto the sort of each side, as it were. And then again, I've just gone with some dimensionals. Whoa, that was way more dimensionals than I anticipated having come out at one go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then that just sits into there. So that's that one done. Next, ding. Okie dokie. So this one again, I've added this one on. When you're adding this part, be a little bit careful because it's actually kind of hard to get it exactly right. So you'll see with mine it's a little bit off skew, but that's okay. It'll still look good. And I have also gone ahead and just added a bit of colour onto this one here. So you don't have to because it will stand out all right, but I just liked it. I should probably show you the actual one. There you go. Let's just do that, and there we go. Let's get rid of the old olive. Alright, so I've stamped that one. So that's just going to sit directly on top. Wait, maybe. If I can manage to do this. There we go, that's better. I like the way these two layer up together actually. So they were in last year's Christmas catalogue, and they're going to be again in this year's Christmas catalogue too. So you can just take that one off there, and I put it onto that top one there, and then your little piece of twine. So just take it round and make yourself a bow. So I've given you more twine than you'll actually need, hopefully. There we go. And I would just go with a tiny dot of glue just on there. stick it down like that. Then if you wanted to, you can actually just sort of pick some of these pieces up and have them going on top. So I'm just gonna add a bit more of my stamping seal. So much want to call it snail adhesive. It's not. Come on, lift up a little bit. Up we go. There we go. So yeah, it just kind of gives it a little bit of coverage under, sort of like on top, to make it look a bit different. So that's that one. Next. Are we off for time? 11 minutes. Oh, yikes. I need to do this in 3 sittings. Okay, so this one I've gone ahead and stuck the tree down. So you will need to stick the tree down with a little bit of bit that you just cut off there, okay? Because otherwise it's going to be too tall. Oh, card. That's the card. So you will have these 2 little pieces. So you just want to, like I was showing you last time with the glue sponge, and stick that directly on top of the green one. So you should end up with a teeny tiny gap of green around the outside. And you should also have like a little champagne-y coloured one of those. So pop that into the middle of there. Of that. So this one can now sit up on top of your tree. So we're just going to pop a mini dimensional behind it, because they're a good size for this. Otherwise, if you only have the large dimensionals, just cut it down a tad and it should stick just fine. Then obviously these pieces are just going to be randomly put wherever. This one here I've stamped on there, and then just going to cut this in half. Run a piece of that along the outside, and you just, when I do this, I kind of hold on to the back of it so that I can make sure it's going to be flat on the sides, and make sure that you're going to be approximately the same distance away on each piece. There we go. That looks alright. Oh no, it wasn't doing that way. I was going to do it with a couple more of these mini dimensionals. 2 and 3. And every so often it's actually a lot easier to take off the topping of the dimensional, as it were, with your pin. So it's up to you whether you put it over there, or just in the middle. I might go just in the middle this time. And then just add your bits around, and then it'll look like that. Those to one side. Next one. See, we're speeding through them now. Next one is this one here. So this one here should have, Lex, come back, all is forgiven, where are you? Apparently the deer that was here earlier has gone walkies. Okay, I might stop here and finish off the last 3 cards in the next video.